What's up, everybody? I'm back with another video coming at you. Roller coaster stuff, and Cedar Point finally gave us an update. This is going to come out a couple days after the fact, but Cedar Point finally gave us an update regarding Top Throw Dragster. By the way, if my voice sounds a little hoarse or I can't get high up like I usually can, I do have a little bit of a sore throat. It is almost gone though, so. And I'm on 3 hours of sleep, so that can be a little fatiguing sometimes. But no, I wanted to get this out a little later than I wanted to. But yeah, Top Tilt Dragster, they said Dragster, as we know it, will be retired after 19 seasons and over 18 million riders. They're retiring Top Tilt Dragster again as we know it, and that's the part of it that we need to really focus on here, as we know it, because that means they're not necessarily tearing it down. Actually, I don't think they are going to tear it down. I think that means they're making some major modifications to it and possibly going to rename / retheme the ride as a whole to reopen. Kind of like what they did with Mantis, turning it into Ruguru, that kind of thing. Probably won't affect the experience as much as that one does, but you know, it's whatever. But basically, now we kind of knew that Dragster was going to need some massive modifications to continuing function. The big one was the launch system. Currently, it uses a hydraulic launch, and those are outdated. Those are old. They are not very reliable anymore. They were kind of like the early set for these massive launch coasters, and it worked for the time, and it worked for what it does. But now they're not so reliable. The parts are becoming harder and harder to find, and it's taking a toll on the financial cost of trying to keep repairing it every time it breaks down, because it broke down a lot. But so what a lot of people think they're going to do, what I think they're going to do, is add LSMs and take out the hydraulic launch. Now people are saying, well, the LSMs have never been put on a ride this big. That's true. They have never been put on a ride the size of Top Thrill Dragster. So they're wondering if they can clear the top hat, the 420-foot top hat. Can it get that high? And a lot of people are wondering, okay, can it get the speed? But I think it can, because you take proportions into account based on other rides, like Red Force, which is 367 feet tall, uses LSMs. It can clear the top hat. You have Dragster, which has about 200 extra feet of launch track to get up about another 57 feet. I think that'll help. I think it might actually increase its speed. It might get up into the 130s or the high 120s with extra time to accelerate, which would be pretty cool. Maybe go so fast that it could possibly take back its speed record. That would be pretty cool. Though that's highly unlikely, though, I will say. But the other things are like safety modifications, aka new trains. There was rumor going around, I think it was back in February, that Dragster's trains had already been sent to Knott's Berry Farm to use on Accelerator for parts for Accelerator's trains, because they're very, very similar rides. Now, with this news, it seems pretty likely that actually did happen. Maybe all the trains got sent there so that, they can be used for parts there. And then they get completely new trains for Top Thrill Dragster. And new trains can accommodate with the LSMs. The parts can be more refined so that they don't don't cause any issue. Maybe higher capacity. Or maybe new theme go along with it. That would be pretty cool. But I think that's definitely going to happen. The other thing that's probably going to happen is safety things. There's rumors going around that they were going to add catch fences on the launch and the break of the ride. They're going to add cover the queue, so like a tent to block the not like a higher refined tent to block the any debris that would fall. And then the other one is the moving of the queue line. to also prevent, maybe they add the catch fences, but they also move the queue line somewhere else. The problem with that is there's not a lot of space to work with. Dragster's location is right dead center in the park. There's not a lot of room to add a big queue line that Dragster would need. Now the trains could help increase capacity, so that would keep the lines a little smaller. Maybe they're hoping on that. Honestly, that could be a possibility, but I think my idea, my proposed plan would be to keep it in where it is, but cover it. Maybe put some fans in there, some misters as they have, and maybe put some decoration in there a little bit to go along with whatever new theme this might have, if it gets one. But then add the tents to cover it from falling debris and whatever, and it gets shade. That's pretty nice too, especially in the hot summer months. And then you can keep the queue line there. Maybe add the catch fences, though. If you got the tents already, it's probably not going to be that necessary. Especially if you're doing an LSM, because the hydraulic, the cables snapped twice on occasion, twice. In 2004 and in 2016, I believe, was when they snapped. So, but you wouldn't have that problem with LSMs. But maybe you would add them. Maybe you could add them as like protection thing right near the where the bleachers are. Maybe you do something there, though there has really been no reported incidents in that area. So maybe it's not necessary. Maybe they'll do a secondary upgrade. Who knows? As for when this will happen, I do think it's going to happen in 2024. It's not going to happen next year. I think next year Cedar Point is going to be dedicated 100% to this new land that they're getting, where the Wicked Twister one stood, with the new family coaster and the new pavilion area. I think they're going to be completely focused on that. The announcement for Dragster did say that they would give us information ASAP. And maybe we will hear something. It could be, again, I think it's going to be 2024. This seems like a pretty extensive project that they're going to work on here. And worst comes worst, if they are tearing it down, I think that's just a big L on their part. Top Thrill Dragster is one of the most iconic roller coasters, not only at Cedar Point, but in the entire roller coaster industry as a whole. Dragster is the tallest structure at Cedar Point. It's a very, very iconic ride, extremely popular, and I just don't think that any ride any coaster or any other ride in general that they could replace Dragster with in that plot of land just won't. Dragster's irreplaceable, is what I should say. They could go 500 feet. They could go the fastest coaster. They could get the loopiest coaster. It won't do nothing. Dragster will still be missed, and people would rather have that back. And that's why I think they're going with the route that they are. They're putting in a major investment to it to significantly decrease its costs yearly for maintenance, because LSMs are very reliable, so that's good, and then that can help fix that situation and the safety modifications and whatever. But it's not the news we wanted to hear. I rode Top Thrill Dragster twice in 2018. Those are my only two rides on it. And the first one especially I'll never forget, because we went up into the clouds and the fog at night. It was my first ride. It was insane. The second ride in the daytime, you get an amazing view. It was a great ride too. But now I'll never forget it. And hopefully Dragster doesn't become my second defunct credit. That would really suck. But hopefully it doesn't. But I do think this is not the end of Dragster. This is the end of this Dragster. They're gonna make some major modifications, and you know what? They rebrand it, rename it. I don't know, but it sucks. But I think we have hope, knowing that they're not saying, okay, we're just tearing it down. No, this is the end of Dragster as we know it. That's the part that we need to worry about there. But that's what I'm going to do for this video. What is your thoughts about this situation? I'd love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments down below. What do you think is going to happen with the ride? And when do you think this is going to happen? What's going to happen? Is it going to get torn down? Or what safety modifications? Are they add an LSM? Can they add an LSM? Let's hear your thoughts about it. So that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for much more amazing content. And until next time, I will see you guys later. Goodbye.